Hello friends, welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 16th of July 2021 and now we are going to discuss 5 current affair based MCQs. चलो शुरू करते हैं. First let us discuss the question that was asked yesterday. कल का question था, what is Mission Karmayogi? So this Mission Karmayogi was in news last year because it was launched by the central government and this will be important from the prelims point of view. So this Mission Karmayogi, if you see, this was launched by the central government mainly for the capacity building of the civil servants. Okay, so what is the main aim? The main aim is capacity building of the civil servants. So this was approved by the central government for the national program for civil services capacity building, which is known as Mission Karmayogi. And as I told, the main aim is to prepare the Indian civil servants for the future by making them more creative, constructive, imaginative, proactive, innovative, progressive, professional, energetic, transparent and technology enabled. So these will be the various parameters on which they will be trained. Now what are the features of this scheme? The features of this scheme is, so all this capacity building will be delivered through the IoT, that means internet, that means using internet, and it will be done through the IGOT, Karmayogi digital platform. So this is the platform name, and through this the content will be delivered from the global best practices. And the scheme will cover 46 lakh central government employees at all the levels, and for this 510 crores is given for a period of 5 years. And the main thing with this is that the rules, you can say that in the civil services the reforms are very important, and one of the major reform is that it will transform from rule based to role based, because till now the civil services, they are following this colonial type of functioning where everything has to be rule based. But now things are going to change. They wanted to make every civil servant work as a role based. It has to be role based, so as to reach to the common man, so as to reach to the last miles. Okay, so that will be the main change that is going to bring by this Mission Karmayogi. And also there will be an integrated initiative, okay, where the services matter such as the confirmation after the probation period, deployment, work assignment and notification of vacancies all will be integrated into the proposed framework. So this will be an integrated one. Okay, so this is all the information about Mission Karmayogi, and this is what we need to know from the prelims point of view, right? Now let's begin the discussion. So before that, a small information. Daily we are uploading 5 current affair based MCQs. That means monthly it will be 130 current affair based MCQs approximately, which are of very high quality. And trust us guys, UPSC is not going to go beyond these MCQs. Okay, so whatever UPSC will ask from the current affairs, most of them, at least 95% of the questions will be covered in all of these MCQ initiative in these MCQs, because we are covering everything. We are covering all of these MCQs based on the daily news only. So we are not leaving any questions, or you can say any important current affair as well. So that's why make the best use of this initiative. Now let's begin the discussion. First question: Fit for 55 package, sometimes seen in the news, is associated to A. Insurance cover of 55 lakh per health worker under Atmanirbhar Bharat. B. European Commission's call to cut their output of greenhouse gases by 55% by 2030. C. Senior Citizen Welfare Fund. And D. None of the above. So here the correct answer is B. European Commission's call to cut their output of greenhouse gas by 55% by 2030. Okay, so recently the European Commission has announced a plan called the Fit for 55 package for all its members against the climate change. So remember, Fit for 55 package, it belongs to EU and this is related to the climate change. So guys, you have to prepare in such a way for the prelims where just by seeing the answer you should be able to recognize it. For that we need to remember the keywords like Fit for 55 belongs to EU and this is related to climate change. Like if you can remember this small information, then you will be able to mark the correct answer in the exam directly. Okay? So here this initiative, it calls for 27 member states of European Commission to cut their output of greenhouse gases by 55% by 2030 compared to that of the 1990 levels. And the targets of this are more aggressive than the United States, which committed to reduce the emissions by 40% to 43% in the same period. Okay, So, and also if you see the Britain, it has pledged for 68% reduction. Now let's see how these countries will perform, because normally if you see, it is these developed countries which are not performing up to the potential, or till to that potential where they have to perform. They are not even providing the funds under the Paris climate deal as well. So let's see where this goes, and if there is any current affair with regarding to the climate deal and all, we'll bring it to you. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. The second question: consider the following statements. First one: UV radiation is the portion of electromagnetic spectrum between X-ray and visible light. Second one: all UVC and some UVB rays are absorbed by Earth's ozone layer. Which of the following are correct statements? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So this question is with regarding to the UV radiation, and if you see, the correct answer is C, both 1 and 2, because the UV radiation is the portion of electromagnetic spectrum between X-ray and visible light, right? And all UVC and UVB rays are absorbed by the Earth's ozone layer. This is also right. Okay. Actually, why this was the news is, recently the UVC disinfection technology will soon be installed in the parliament for the mitigation of airborne transmission of the COVID. So that's why this was the news. So that's why this UVC disinfecting technology was in news. So if you see about this UVC air duct disinfection system, it is developed by the CSIRO, which is the Central Scientific Instrument Organization, and this institute has developed that, and the system is designed to fit into any existing air duct and the virtual doses using UVC intensity and residence time, and can be optimized according to the existing space. The virus is deactivated in any aerosol particle by the calibrated levels of the UVC light. So this UVC light will disinfect all the air. Okay. So normally UV radiation, if you see, it is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and UVA has the longest wavelength, followed by UVB and UVC, which are the shortest, and UVA and UVB are transmitted through the atmosphere. All UVC and some UVB are absorbed by the Earth's ozone layer. Okay. So now from the prelims point of view, the important thing is to know all the electromagnetic spectrum according to the wavelength. So if you see the wavelength, so this is the increasing order of wavelength. That is, gamma rays has the least wavelength, X-ray next least, after that UV, infra and radio. So like this, the spectrum is there. Okay, so the visible light is somewhere here, the visible light. So if you see UV, it is there in between gamma rays, X-rays and visible light. Okay. So this is the order of increasing wavelength, and if you talk about the order of increasing frequency, it should be from right to left like this. Okay, so radio waves has the least frequency, infrared next least, after that visible light, after that UV, next X-ray, and next gamma rays. Okay, so just try to remember these things, right? Now let's move on to the next question. Third question: consider the following statements with respect to National Ayush Mission. National Ayush Mission was in news recently. First one: it is a central sector scheme for the development and promotion of the Ayush system of medicine excluding homeopathy. Second one: it aims at providing cost-effective and equitable Ayush healthcare throughout the country by improving access to the services. So here we have to choose the correct statement. A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So National Ayush Mission. So recently it was in news, and it is a central sector scheme for the development and promotion of Ayush. But the important thing is that it includes homeopathy. Here in the first statement it is given, it excludes homeopathy, but this is a wrong statement. It includes homeopathy. But the second statement is right. So first one is wrong, second one is right, and B, 2 only is the correct answer. So recently the Union Cabinet has approved the constitution of National Ayush Mission as a centrally sponsored scheme from April 1, 2021 to 31 March 2026. So it will be a centrally sponsored scheme, and it is going to be the flagship scheme under the Ministry of Ayush. Okay, so the granting aid will be provided to the states based on the performance, and also for the promotion of this Ayush as per the proposed state annual action plans. According to these plans, the funds will be allocated, and the specific resource pool with respect to National Ayush Mission for each state and UT government is allocated and communicated by the central government directly. And what the central government will do is they will provide funds for setting up of new Ayush centers, and also upgrading of existing infrastructure, etc. For all of these things, the central government will be providing the funds. Okay? So this is all the information about National Ayush Mission. Here's some more extra information I've given. You can just pause and go through this also. Now let's move on to the next question, the fourth question. With respect to the Gram Nyayalayas, consider the following statements. First one, each Gram Nyayalaya is a court of judicial magistrate of the first class. Second one, the Gram Nyayalayas can only try civil suits and not criminal cases. Third one, the judgments and orders passed by the Gram Nyayalayas are deemed to be a decree. So we have to choose the correct statement. A 1 and 2, B 3 only, C 1 and 3 only, and D 1, 2 and 3. So here if you see carefully, in the second statement it is given the Gram Nyayalayas can only try civil cases and not the criminal cases. This is a wrong statement because the Gram Nyayalayas can try both civil as well as criminal cases. So that's why the second statement is a wrong statement. So by that logic, option A and option D will directly get eliminated. Option B and option C are left. So here, 3 is common, the option 3 is right statement. So the first statement, if you see, each Gram Nyayalaya is a court of judicial magistrate of the first class. This is also a right statement. So C, 1 and 3 is the correct answer. Okay. So recently the cabinet has approved the decision to support the Gram Nyayalayas by providing recurring and non-recurring grants for 5 years with outlay of 50 crores. Okay, these funds will be given to the state government based on the setting up of the Gram Nyayalayas, based upon the operationalization of the Gram Nyayalayas only. Okay, so in 2008, the Gram Nyayalaya Act was passed, but very few states have implemented this. So each Gram Nyayalaya is a court of judicial magistrate of the first class, and it has an officer called the Nyayadikari who is appointed by the state government in consultation with the High Court. This Gram Nyayalayas shall be established for every panchayat at the intermediary level or a group of panchayats at the district level. Okay, so the seat of Gram Nyayalaya will be located at the headquarters of the immediate panchayat, and they will go to villages, and what they will do is they will listen to the cases and they will dispose it then and there itself. Okay, so if you see the jurisdiction, so this jurisdiction will be given by the state government by notification in consultation with the respective high court. And these Nyayadikaris, they can hold mobile courts and conduct proceedings in the villages. So by this way, we are trying to take justice to all the corners of the country. These Gram Nyayalayas can try both the civil and criminal offences, and the court shall try to settle the disputes via conciliation between the parties, and the court can use the conciliators for this purpose as well. Right? So now let's move on to the next question, the fifth question of the day. On 21st June, the sun A does not set below the horizon at Arctic Circle, B does not set below the horizon at Antarctic Circle, C shines vertically overhead at the noon on the equator, and D shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. So we have to choose the correct answer. It's a previous civil services question of 2019. So on June 21st, what will happen is the question. So normally there is this concept called equinox. Okay, generally on March 21st, we will be observing the equinox, and also on September 21. So equinox means the sun will directly be above the equator. Sun will directly be above the equator, that is known as equinox. That means the length of the day and the night will be equal. So if you see on June 21, what is going to happen is that the sun will be directly over the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. So that means the sunlight will be more on the northern hemisphere. So during that time, what will happen is that the sun does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle. So as you might have known, in the Arctic and Antarctic circles, you will be seeing 6 months of sunlight continuously and 6 months of night. That means 6 months they will have sunlight and 6 months they will not have sunlight continuously. So on June 21st, what is going to happen is that in the northern hemisphere, the sun is not going to set. Okay, and in September, again the sun will be at the equator. After that, the sun will go to the southern hemisphere. Okay, in December, the sun will be over the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, and during that time, the sun will not set near the Antarctic Circle. Okay, so this is all the information we need to know. So the same information I've given here, you can just pause and go through it if you have any doubt. Right? So now let's see the question of the day. The question of the day is, in 1939, Subhash Chandra Bose was elected as the President of the Congress by defeating whom? A. Jawaharlal Nehru, B. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, C. Vallabhbhai Patel, and D. Pattabi Sitaramaya. So you have to choose the correct answer and do give your answer in the comment box. Tomorrow we are going to discuss this question. Okay? And guys, these are our initiatives. So you can check all of these initiatives from our Telegram channel. The details of the Telegram channel I've given in the description, right? So that's it guys for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.